I often get asked about how do I care for my skin and what do I do? And that's what this video, this episode is all about. Except this week, I'm going to have a little bit of a different look on it, a different spin on it, as you would imagine. We're going to look at the inside and then the outside. So stick with me. This will make sense at the end of the video. Hi, my name is Carolyn Chebaro, and my goal on this itsy bitsy YouTube channel, which I'm growing and I'm very thankful for, is to inspire you and to motivate you and to get you to look at things just a wee bit differently on a journey that you can create for yourself to live a simple life. And who doesn't want to live a simple life? So let's roll on, let's move, and let's discuss skincare. So let's start from the inside. This past month in December, for my birthday, I decided to treat myself to a facial. And I must confess, I was a bit dubious with COVID and all, but I thought, well, got to start living a life. So I booked myself into have a facial. And the facialist that I use as a result of COVID got herself a van, and she travels around and meets her clients in parks. And that's where we met. And it was very, very nice. It was very, very quiet, and it was very, very peaceful. And I'm really not too sure which I enjoyed most. I love the lotions and the potions and the smell of them, and they can be very, very relaxing. But I also enjoy the massages because that's even more relaxing. And so I'm not sure what I enjoy about a facial, but I just enjoy the whole experience. It makes me feel really, really good. Emphasis on feel. And I was so happy that I took care of myself. And that is part of the inside bit, the feeling of being happy and content inside. And I'm curious, do you have facials, and how often do you have them? I've decided that I'm going to have them every quarter, every 3 months. I'm going to treat myself and go somewhere and have a facial, because that's how important it was. It's not so much the action of it, although that's nice. It's the actual feeling and the results at the end. So the next thing that I do to care for my skin is I drink, this is going to be nothing new to you, I drink a ton of water. And I have one of those filter things. I'll put a picture here in the refrigerator. And I just drink water all day. And consequently, when you drink, when it goes in one ear, it goes out the other area, and it just sort of cleans out the system. So I drink a lot of water. Next, I'd be preaching to the choir if I said that, or if I emphasize that I try my best to eat well. And I eat tons of greens. Every meal, every evening meal, I always make sure I've got greens. I like the color, and I know that they're good for me, so I always make sure that there are greens on the plate that I don't eat the plate for me to eat that's on the plate. And the last thing on my inside list of things that I do to care for my skin is probably the most important, and it's the easiest and the most difficult to do. I have found that by doing nothing, that helps the appearance of my skin and my whole body, my whole thought process. And it's still something that I fight with because it's difficult to do nothing, just to sit and just to be. But I find it so, so important. It's different from sleeping, because sleeping doesn't really, most of the time, doesn't take concentration. But when you sit and do nothing in the beginning, it's difficult, at least it is for me, to do nothing. And so I have to concentrate and say, just relax and do nothing. And it's a little bit different from meditation, but it's just listening to things around me, watching things around me with a blank slate, so to speak. So that is the most important thing, I would say, from the inside. And now we'll look at the outside. So they're in my skincare routine. There's sort of a crossover from the inside to the outside. And I don't mean to make this complicated, because after all, this is a channel to help you lead a simple life. But there is a crossover. And that is the ritual that I have created. And you can do the same thing for caring for your skin. So it will actually take care of the outside physical stuff, but for me, and I'm hoping for you, that the actual ritual that you have that you follow will make you feel good, and it will make you feel like you're taking care of yourself. And so that is the crossover for the outside. And there are several things that I use on my skin on the outside that help with its appearance. The thing that I put topically on my skin are sunscreen. And that is just a routine that I've gotten into. I heard something on Hot and Flashy. I'll put her channel below, but as I've said before, she mentions that you can put all this stuff on your face, but if you don't protect your face, then there's really no reason. And she also brought up a very valid point recently that if you live in an environment where there is a lot of sunlight, then you should really be taking care of your skin inside as well, which is really sad, but probably just a fact that it made sense to me. I live in my home has a lot of light in it and a lot of windows, and I spend a lot of my time out on the balcony. So I have gotten into the habit, the ritual of putting on sunscreen. Here's two that I'm using at the moment. I'm using Neutrogena Dry Touch 55. Don't really like it, but I'll finish it up because that's just what I do. And then this is something, again, from Australian Gold, Botanical 50 sunscreen. Again, it's all right, but I just know that it's there and it's to protect my skin, and so that's why I use it. Another thing that I've fallen in love with in the, not a spiritual sense, but another thing that I like are serums. And and it's amazing how fine they get, because if you remember years ago, you wore a heavy cream, and sometimes they can get really tacky, and they still exist. But I have come to really enjoy serums. So I have 3 serums here that I use, not all daily, but I use these 3 serums. I will put links to them. 2 of them are from The Ordinary, and the other one is actually Neutrogena. And the first one that I use is Niacinamide. And here it is. There you go. Well, Niacinamide. Yeah, I'll put the link below. But what I like about this is and you can really see a difference, or at least I can, it actually cleans out the skin. It's sort of like Drano for your skin. It just clears everything out. And you can see, it sounds really awful, but you can see it. And so I really like this niacinamide. I've used it off and on for a while, and I introduce it into my skincare routine when I think it just needs a good unclogging, so to speak. The other thing I use is lactic acid. I think I would figure this out. Lactic acid by The Ordinary. Again, link below. And what I like about this is it exfoliates the skin, the dead skin on the surface of the skin, and it's a chemical. It's an acid, sounds really awful, but it does really, it's like sandpaper, but in a nice way. And I like this. If you remember years ago, I think it was Clinique brought out this scrub thing, and I'm not sure if they still have it. Let me know if you use it, but it was very, very rough on the skin, and you could really cause your skin damage if you use it incorrectly. So anyway, I like this lactic acid, and for as long as I have it, I'll continue to use it. And then this other one from Neutrogena, whoa, it's Collagen Triple Lift Serum. Doesn't that sound impressive? I don't know if it works. It's supposed to lift your skin. And it says that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to lift your skin. And I don't believe, well, maybe it does. But what I like about this is it smells lovely. And putting it on is such a nice experience. It makes me feel really good. So this is the first container of this. I'll probably buy another one just to see, because maybe it does lift. Who knows? But I use these 3 serums. They're very, very light, very, very lightweight, and I enjoy them. the question I have for you, if you know the answer, is in what order do you put these things on? I tend to put from the thinnest, so to speak, to the most heavy. But I'm not sure if that's right. And if you know, please let me know and let us all know in the comment box below. And of course, I still use an eye cream. And normally it's Kiehl's avocado, quite heavy, but I like the texture of it, and I've used that for many, many years. And then I tend not to use a night cream because all of these serums are quite heavy. I suspect if I lived in a colder climate, I would need to, but my skin doesn't require it because it's rather warm here and humid, especially in the summertime. And as far as a day moisturizer, I do have one that I use. It's got ceramides in it, but mainly, again, depending on the weather and how I'm feeling, I would just use the serums and then put on the sunscreen. One tip that I've learned from Hot and Flashy is to make use of the product that you no longer need on your face and neck, and by putting it on your hands, seems like it's not wasteful, and at least it's doing some good. So that was a tip that I'd like to pass on to you. That, ladies, is my skincare routine. Most important thing I feel is the inside and then the outside and the crossover of the ritual. If you have enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe. I want to thank everyone for spending time with me today. If there's anything else that you would like to know about, if you would like another video on a different topic, let me know. But until next week, I wish everyone a good week. Stay well, stay safe. Toodles, everyone.